Hello, happy Saturday, and welcome to Heroes and Hooligans, where we haven't played anything on Saturday in a while. But this is a very special Saturday where we are doing something freaking awesome. We are launching a brand new campaign here on the channel, Sumarkula Stories. This is set in a homebrew world. It is a D&D 5e system, and it is going to be a similar game style to Candlekeep Mystery, where it's more episodic, individual adventure based rather than a overarching campaign theme. So I'm very excited about it. I have some awesome folks with me here today, and some that are going to be joining us at a later time. I'm going to go around and let them say hello, tell you who they are and who they're going to play, and then I'm going to get right into spilling lore at you. Since the lore doc for this campaign is 36 pages long, there is plenty of it for you to learn. So enjoy. I'm going to start right next door to me. Christy, hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Huli. It's nice to be back on screen. It's been almost a year since I've done a game, and it's been... Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
First technical flaw. Camera down.
Technical difficulties, everyone. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Camera down.
There we go. Yeah, so there you go. And apparently I'm Rusty.
Who are you
Hi,
playing?
Rusty. I'm Vinny.
I will be playing Pink Quick Mixel, a tiefling, bard, tiefling rogue.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can't wait to meet her. It's going to be awesome. Let's
Me too.
roll up right on next door. Vinny, welcome back, friend.
Hello. I'm Vinny, otherwise known as Ruth McHale, or Cap Fantasy, on Discord, as well as... Well, no, it's Ruth McHale on Discord, too. I'm Ruth McHale everywhere. It's right there. It's right there somewhere. Anyway, I am playing Frederick McAllister, and...
God knows.
Did we want to wait to say what my class was, or do it now?
You can hint.
Be mysterious.
You can give the basics of it.
I am a warrior I am a warrior of the consecrated warrior of the god, the consecrated warrior. However you pronounce that. Their
Yeah,
name.
the warrior.
Vigja. However you pronounce that.
We'll figure it out whenever we start speaking Icelandic.
It's true.
All right, fantastic. Glad to have you, Vinny. Hello, Microwave.
What?
Greetings. I'm the microwave of this group. It's a pronoun I myself personally use. That's mainly just an inside joke that Huli seems to love more than anyone. I am playing Odd Revan, though most people just call him Revan because he's a revenant, mainly, at this point. This is probably what I would define as... Can I say the C word on this? Can I say crackhead?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, crackhead. He's the crazy one of the group, or at least he will be. And
Yeah,
that's all I'm giving away for now.
He's just a ball of energy and shenanigans.
Yeah. The symbol I chose for this character has nothing to do with anything.
Nothing whatsoever. All right. And last today, but certainly not least, our resident drow.
Wow. I am David. I'll be playing Bindi Bones, the lovable little scamp of a kobold that just eventually... ranger, but can't do subclasses till later, but I am basically the little dragon who wants to be with his big friend dragon, so see how that goes.
Yeah,
and I'll see if I can match the chaos of Revan over there.
I don't think you're going to be able to. Also,
We'll
the
see.
little dragon that could.
Little dragon that could, yes.
Love it. Fantastic. All right, great. So we have Pink, Frederick, Ard, and Bindi this evening. This is going to be good stuff. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sumarkula, and we're going to jump right into it. I actually have music for this because I am prepared. Mark your calendars. It'll never happen again.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
August 2024. Lockdown, Hooli was prepared.
Yes.
He's prepared in any game that I've ever been with you there.
I usually get prepared, but not really. All right. In Sumarkula, the air is thick with enchantment, and the wind whispers ancient tales of valor and mystery. The land is a patchwork of lush forests, towering mountains, and crystal clear lakes, each with its own story to tell. The trees hum with the energy of word, a powerful ancient magic that permeates every rock, every leaf, every breath of air. It is a magic that binds the land and its inhabitants together, a magic that can be harnessed by those with the knowledge and the will. The people of Sumarkula are as diverse as the land itself, from the hardy mountain folk who carve their homes from the very stone to the forest dwellers who live in harmony with the woodland creatures. Each tribe has its own unique customs and traditions, yet they are united by the respect for the word and the dragons that roam the land. Dragons, the majestic and fearsome creatures, are revered in Sumarkula. They are seen as the embodiment of the word, their fiery breath a manifestation of its raw power. They are both protectors and challengers, pushing the people to strive for greatness while guarding the balance of the land. To see a dragon is considered a blessing, a sign of the word's favor. In Sumarkula, the possibilities are endless. Here, a humble farmer can become a hero, a young maiden can become a powerful sorceress, and a simple stone can hold the key to unimaginable power. It is a land where dreams can become reality, where the impossible becomes possible. But Sumarkula is not without its dangers. Dark forces lurk in the shadows, seeking to corrupt the word and bend it to their will. It is up to the brave and the wise to stand against these threats, to protect the land they love and the magic that binds it all. So welcome, travelers, to Sumarkula. May the word guide your path. May the dragons inspire your spirit. And may your journey be filled with adventure. You find yourselves on a small island. It's not very big at all. It's the smallest main island in all of Sumarkula. It is cold. It is snowy. But it's still a beautiful place to be. There's a volcano that resides in the center. There's a very well-known tavern called the Battle Axe Inn, run by a beautiful gnome woman who has the heart of a grandmother called Mrs. Twinklebottom. And there's a respected academy in Hawkborg called the Citadel, even with its own arena. The main port of Calderland is in Noboric. Each of you has been given or chosen to sign on to the task of joining as a group to hunt for lost artifacts, magical books, scrolls, pieces of history that are missing and would be a prized possession of the library of the lands called the Grindle. Who wants to say which part of the island they're on first and what it is that you're doing while you're preparing to meet this new group of adventurers? Yeah, don't everybody jump at once.
I'm just reading the map.
Trying to decide where I am.
Yeah, you could be
Where's the town? Hofenburg?
right next to it. Right next to it is Noboric. It's just pretty small on the map where the little ships are. It's be right there on the southern point of the island.
I would say Pink is probably receiving. Oh, there it is. She's probably in wherever she's been staying. An inn or a cabin or whatever that she's renting has been rented for her. and she's in front of a mirror receiving instructions for the day from her manager. She basically is here. She's on a work trip. She works for the Queen, or boss, or however you want to call it. And although that's several layers of management above her, she's only met her a couple of times. And her job is basically, she's been tasked with joining this group and reporting back to what's the name of that? Of the place that's in Antarctica?
Yeah, Botany Hudson's.
Yeah, the Botany Hudson's. To she's been tasked to report back to them what is found and what is in that information, and of course help the library, yada yada, so, but mostly just to report.
Sure. So you wake up. You've spent your evening at the Battle Axe Inn, which is on the north side of the island, but it's a very small island, so it's only a 10-15 minute walk from there to the port in the morning. So you find yourself in a small room. It has its own wash basin, a body length mirror, a twin bed, a dresser, and a little desk and table inside. And you get up, you get yourself cleaned up. You're all dressed, and you wait for the call to come in.
Yeah, draw a little symbol on the mirror and wait for the swirls to come.
Yeah, so a purple smoke swirls in the mirror just moments after you draw the symbol. And a face that you're not used to seeing appears in the mirror. It is the face of another tiefling. A peach-skinned tiefling with dark black horns, and in the back behind her, you can just see the outline, what looks like a large black-colored dragon. She wears a crown on her head made of obsidian, and she greets you. Good morning.
Your Majesty. Good morning.
How are you, my child?
Why, oh, such an honor.
Well, as you're one of the first of us to partake in a diplomatic mission of sorts with the Upworlders, I wanted to have a personal conversation with you this morning.
Of course. I'm so sorry. I was not informed by Manager Arista that this would be happening. Diplomatic. I thought we were spying, madam.
Well, yes, but in terms of everybody else's understanding, it's viewed as diplomacy. Our own motives are our own.
Oh, of course, diplomacy. I shall be as polite and diplomatic as possible. I'll say please and thank you and whatever other things that they like. Is it bowing a thing here?
Maybe in some places, but just be your authentic self. Everything will be okay. Do you have everything you need?
Weapons. I wouldn't mind some more poison. Definitely, a couple more. Some explosives would have been nice, but for now, I think I have what I need.
Okay.
Notebook, so that I can take notes.
Oh, okay, wonderful. And she reaches through the mirror, and you've never seen your direct manager be able to do this, so this seems to be a very higher level power than you're used to experience. And her hand, and it's very soft, long, pointed nails. She wears a lot of silver jewelry, one ring in the shape of a dagger. She has a bracelet that dangles from her wrist that has the head of a fox as the like little design. And she reaches out
Fine.
and opens the palm of her hand, and as she does, instantly materializing in front of you is a plain leather-bound notebook and a sack of coins on top of it.
Oh my. Should I? Yeah. She grabs it.
And
Thank
she'll
you.
gently pull her hand away, and as she gently pulls away, you feel just the tips of her nails sort of brush across your skin, and you feel this sort of trickle of power. It feels almost like pins and needles, like a bit of electricity kind of flows from her into you as she draws her hand back.
Oh my. Oh my. She blushes. She's like,
Be well and have safe travels.
yes, of course, Your Majesty. She's like, she tries one bow and then tries another and then realizes she can't see that one in the mirror. And then, yeah, she just stops.
By the time you sit up from your bow, the mirror
Yeah.
is back to its normal, quicksilver.
She waits for a second just to make sure it's over. And she's like, yes! Take that, Arissa! Yeah! Face!
Yeah, perfect.
I got the
She loves
queen! She's like, feeling very high on herself right at the moment.
Yeah, so if you flip open the front cover of the notebook, right on like the inside paper, the first paper, it says the same as how she told you, take care and be safe. And then there's like a XOXO, Queen Lysanthier. And then in the pouch of coins is 100 gold pieces. And a stone.
That's more money than she's ever seen in one place at one time. So
Probably so.
she's like, oh wow. Whoa, yeah, we're having some fun tonight. Oh, nope, not my money. Not kind of my money. Kind of my money. I wonder if I have to take a register or a ledger of this. Probably.
Amongst the coins in the sack, when you open it up to look to see what's inside, you find this little blue stone. It's probably about this big around, and it has a circle that kind of, it's not necessarily a circle, what do they call it? A swirl, where it starts on the edge and swirls all the way to a point in the middle. And the swirl in the blue stone is etched in gold.
Okay. I'm going to call this the spiral crystal.
Actually, you would have seen one of these before, though never owned one because it's seemingly above your station in your homelands. This is what's called a word key, and it functions very similar to a sending stone.
Okay.
So you can just put a sending stone on your sheet and put the description.
Okay.
And I will leave Pink to her machinations for the day. You know, you're supposed to meet, it's morning time, you're supposed to meet around noon at the port in Novrik to meet with the group and head off on your first assignment, which you're not really quite sure what it is yet. But.
She's trying the sending, so she's like, hello? Hello? So she's not quite sure how this thing works, so.
It doesn't seem to connect to anything at this moment. Maybe it's a sending in, one where you can receive messages. You're not quite sure, but you're aware of the function of it at least.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wonderful. So, Bindi.
Yes.
Where's Bins?
Ben's would probably be. He probably would have been at the inn earlier. He's not. It's been a little bit since he's been to Cowderland. He'd probably have been hanging out around. Where was he? He was
The battle axe, the Citadel?
Yeah,
The
no.
arena?
Like, it would have been at the battle axe, but he would have headed down towards the actual town itself.
To Navarre?
Not Novarek. Why did my map not load?
Oh, I just
Beyond.
to the battle axe, but I
You
can
just
put it back.
updated it, that's why. Fial something
Goblinder's the volcano in the middle,
like that.
and then you've got Hofborg in the south, which is where the Citadel and the arena is, and then you have Navorek, which is where the fort is.
Yeah, he probably would have been like hanging out just outside of Hofterberg. Is it Hofterberg? Probably just like keeping eyes peeled. He would have had his drink in the morning before heading down, and then he knows like of anything. He got the word. He got the thing to like come on down to like find artifacts, and Bindy's eyes are like sources when you say anything artifacts or things like that. So he was like, oh, I gotta get out, get get morning started by having a drink and breakfast. And then he's just like basically jumping around like a agitated flea while he's waiting to get off on his sort of thing. So he's just casually chilling out down there near the Citadel and the arena and things like that, because he doesn't know who he's going with. He just got told, hey, come on down, you're gonna find some stuff. And he's like, I'm gonna find some stuff. Okay.
What do you think Binns was before he went to Calderland? Like, where does Binns hail from and or currently reside?
Oh, so Binns hails from. He would have been. Where was he? Scrolling back through my notes. He was with the Righty clan.
Yeah.
Which would be Western Hayata.
Eastern?
I thought that was...
I'm pretty sure they're Eastern.
The open plans of Western is where they found their home. I know he's also along that, like, the spine there. So...
Along the spine.
He could have been hanging at East, could have Western, one of the two.
Okay. So essentially what happened with Binns is that your guild leader would have put a note out at the guild to say, or your clan leader for the Ready clan, and said, hey, we're looking for somebody with archaeology experience to represent our clan. And it would boil down to Binns, because Binns is an archaeologist, and that's what he likes to do. So before you would have taken off, the leader of your clan would have provided you with a similar word key, which you know what they are. You've just never owned one before. And a pouch containing also 100 gold pieces, and made sure you had whatever standard gear that you needed. So your clan leader is Eliza Whisperwind. So she would have been the one to provide you with your coin and the official decree of employment through the Grindle and so on. And you've got your 100 gold pieces and your word key. So she would have sent you on your way. What do you think Binns had for breakfast this morning, knowing he was going to meet new people?
Meeting new people. He probably would have had, like, say, they hunt small game and things out in the wild, so he probably would have started with that. But definitely would have been at least one or two. We'll go with two of his favorite drink to definitely get him.
Fire water?
Yeah, he'd be on the fire waters first thing in the
What,
morning.
what's Binz's con modifier?
I think I'm a +2. Yes.
All right, so great. So Binz had 2 fire waters this morning. No effects from the alcohol because you're still within your con limiter there. And so you're kind of hanging out outside of Navoric, probably up in a tree somewhere where you can see things really well, kind of keeping an eye to see if people start to congregate.
Even like up on like a rooftop somewhere. Like he enjoys. Yeah, so he would be he occasionally hides, but it would be more like just like squat, sort of like watching down over.
Yeah,
groups.
so maybe you're already in Navoric, but you're up on top of the dockmaster's building, watching down into the docks to see if there's like a group of people, because you don't know who any of these people are. You don't know who you're supposed to meet, anything like that. That's where Binz is, watching, just sitting up on top of the dockmaster's building there, watching out over the docks. Wonderful. Ard, where do you think, or well, where do you know that you are right now, Fred?
Knowing him, he's probably in the Windwalker Forest.
In Windwalker Forest, okay. What brought Ard into Windwalker?
He's chasing down a target.
Chasing a target. Okay, go ahead. Let's roll some dice. Let's do the first dice of the campaign for Ard.
Oh, shit, of course it's me.
All right, so you're tracking somebody. Let's say you're using your survival skill.
I'm not fucking good with this, but screw it. First roll.
Well, if you can think of a different skill that you think is something that you would more be using than survival, I'd be open to hearing it.
I mean, a 13's not bad for survival.
No, you only needed a DC 10 to stay on the trail. So yeah, you're chasing your target through the woods here. He is a bounty that you've been chasing for a couple of weeks, and he just so happened to lead you to a place where you were going to end up anyway. And you're headed through Windwalker, but he looks like he's headed south through the forest. And you follow him, and you're following him, and your 13 is enough for you to stay on his trail. You just haven't exactly caught up to him yet. Give me an insight check.
Insight.
Yes.
Apparently I'm proficient with that. Doesn't make sense, but okay.
Good job.
If it would load, it's a 16.
16, great. So you got a 16. So as you're following the trail, chasing your bounty through Windwalker Forest, you're headed south. For those of you who don't know where Windwalker is, it's along the eastern seaboard of the island. There's a forest there on the outsides of where the volcano is. So you're headed south through Windwalker. And as you start to think about which direction you're heading, you're thinking, you're coming to the conclusion that your bounty thinks that he's going to slip into a crowd of people and you're going to lose him. So you stay on the trail, you come out of the south of the forest, and sure enough, the trail leads you right into town. You're headed right towards Novaric. And as you head into town, you see there are several ships there at the docks. And as you get closer, you finally lay your eyes on your target, which you hadn't done. You had just been tracking him. You finally lay your eyes on the target, and he looks like he's cutting through a crowd to one of the ships that looks like it's preparing to leave. What do you do?
How far away is he? Would you say?
Probably 30 to 45 feet.
Okay, as he's running away, I'm gonna, as I'm walking, reach to my side, pull up my revolver, and just pop him right in the knee.
All right,
See
roll
if I
to hit
can
for
drop
me.
him to the ground. Roll to hit, revolver. Uh, 15.
All right, you just needed to beat the 10. So you pull out this revolver from your hip holster. You take your aim and you pull the trigger in the middle of the docks in front of everybody, and you shoot him right in the kneecap. You hit him and you knock him down, and he's on his back holding his knee, caterwauling, because, you know, you shot me. Vince, you see this from above as you're watching sort of over the docks. You hear the sound of the gunshot. Pink, if you are have made your way down to the docks at this point, you would see and hear this as well.
Okay.
Ben's would probably, like, as he sees someone just get, like, nailed by a revolver in the knee, would probably pop up, train the bow on the shooter.
Okay.
Which is and it's like you see him pull out very quickly, like pull out and rapidly and aim this long bow that is a short bow to most people, but is a long bow to Ben's because he's less than 3 foot long, less than 3 foot tall, and just trains this bow like hopefully dead on if I need to roll and take a shot. Let's see if my rolls are terrible tonight. But
Sure.
Basically calls down at this newcomer and he's just like, Friend is okay? What is doing?
I'm gonna casually flip my gun, put it back in its holster, and then out of nowhere, from what you'd see me dressed in, like long, rough leathers that have been patchworked together with a hood, a metal mask, I'm going to skip my way towards this guy, hands flailing at my side, and just lean down beside the body and just be like, "Stop, Buttercup!"
Yeah, and there's a lot of commotion on the dock as this is happening, and as just about the time you reach your bounty, a large griff man also reaches you. He's wearing the dockmaster uniform. His name is Murdane, and he wants to know what the fuck you're doing shooting somebody on his docks. You've stained the wood.
That's fine, just use bleach. Or paint it red. That works. And then I'm going to reach into my coat and pull out a bounty and just unveil it and just be like, he's got a bounty on his head, mate. That's what I'm here for. Got a problem with that?
Nope, no problem with bounties. Just a problem with the blood. Get him off my docks.
Cool. I'd attempt to pick him up, but I don't have a lot of strength, so I'm just casually just going to grab him by the ankle of the leg that I shot and just drag him.
And just drag him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in Navork, where the docks are, it's the port city of the island. So there's several merchants and stalls and things like that around. There is a small building in this area, and when I say small, I mean it's smaller than a tavern, but just like a little bit bigger than like a fishing shack or such would be. And it is the Bounty Hunters Guild, where there's several of them stationed throughout the world of Sumarkula. This is just the one on Calderland.
Yeah.
What's Pink's thinking to herself right now? She's not making any. She's headed toward breakfast. But she does think to herself that she thought that outside of home that people were a bit more civilized than this, but at least this is familiar.
In Bins, I think if you're calling down to the guy on the ground, he's just, if you were calling him friend, if you weren't talking to Art, I think he was just squalling and squawking too much to really make out much of a conversation aside from he fucking shot me.
No, Bins calls a lot of people friend. Basically everyone, whether they are or they aren't. But it was directed at Ard, not at the that's why he was training the boat on Ard. Like, you've just shot someone on the dock. Why?
When Ard turns and heads towards the bounty hunters, does Bins kind of scramble down and skitter behind him, try to catch up and find out anything, or does he stay?
No, he would scamper after, but he would do it like this person just shot someone broad daylight and then dragged them away. Bins has dealt with invasions and things. He would follow, but slowly and quietly. Like, he would not be getting in on that immediately. He just wants to know why.
Yeah, and you've probably encountered bounty hunters before. They probably just have a little more tact or couth than Ard necessarily has. So
yeah,
Ard, you drag the bounty off to the Bounty Hunters Association there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come in the building. There's several cells on each side. You know, they're not very big, and then there's just like one table there in the center that serves as a desk / drinking table. And there's two people sitting at the table, and then just only 2 of the cells in there are occupied. What do you do?
I kick the door open, drag this guy in, who I'm presuming is still yelling in pain because I'm grabbing his injured leg.
He's very
casually drag him over and just slam him against the desk and hand the notice over and just be like, "Money, please."
Well, that's one way to get the job done. One moment. And as a bounty hunter, you know there's this wand of identifying that they use. But instead of identifying objects, it identifies people to match them to their contract to make sure it's the right bounty. So he kind of wipes the wand over top of the contract and then wipes it over the guy, wipe it, however you want to call it, over both of them. And a bright green flash comes from the contract before it disintegrates, indicating, yes, this is the correct guy. Wonderful. Ooh, fantastic. The other man gets up, drags him into a cell, casts a little magic on his knee to stop the bleeding, locks the cell door, and they give you your payment. It's a pouch of gold, 100 gold pieces, and inside of it also is your word key since you work with the Bounty Guild. Good job. We didn't think you'd be able to get him. Nobody's gotten him in a while. You know, take this. This your payment. A bit of a promotion.
I'm assuming there's a board here with other bounties on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just gonna skip over to that and have a look. Hands on my hip, leant over like I need glasses. Except I don't, because I don't have eyeballs.
Yeah, there's just a couple of bounties on here, not very many. One of them is for 20 gold pieces, and it's for a farmer on one of the main lands who has a dispute with his neighbor and keeps stealing his sheep. There is one for a known thief in Hala, and it's worth about 50 gold pieces. And the other one is actually a very small bounty. It's only 5 gold pieces, and it's for the return of little Jimmy's favorite knife wing.
Oh well, obviously I'm gonna take that one. Little Jimmy needs my help.
It's only for
This
5
one's-
boxes.
At this point, Art's not doing this for money. He's just doing it to have fun. So he takes that one, says, looks at it, and goes, "Oh my god, little Timmy!" And it just runs out.
Oh, and just runs out. Yeah, so you have that bounty. It in the way that it's written, you can tell it was written by a child. It's very chicken scratchy handwriting, done in purple crayon on a little coffee stained back of a newspaper sort of situation. And there's like a little crayon drawing of a stick figure boy and his pet knife wing, you know. And some time has passed, and it's getting closer to noon. And Ard, you probably picked up this job for the Grindle as something, just an extra something to make money while you're traveling. So you would have picked it up with one of your previous contracts as something you knew was coming up, which is why you were headed in this direction. Anyways, it just happened to work out for you. So it's getting closer to noon, probably 11:30, 11:45 after these things have happening. You know, you're meeting on the docks with the captain of the ship that's going to take you on your adventures at around noon. Has everybody made their way there?
Yeah, I'd be back at the docks by now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, after ran off and then Bins got confused, he went back to his perch atop the dockmaster's house. Little
Wonderful.
building.
I'm just whistling this
Yeah,
stupid
so-
happy.
I got a
in one of
sandwich and I'm waiting at the dock with my sandwich.
Yeah, so in one of the docking ports that's farther towards the inland, it looks like it's not used by main traffic. Maybe somebody's personal docking space or so on. It's mostly up against the land itself rather than built out onto a wooden dock. But it's just at the very end of the port area in Newport. You see this ship, and it is a beautiful ship. It has bright colored sails, beautiful ornate woodwork, and if you're in above VTT, you can see this ship on the screen now. It has green and red sails. They're very bright, like the plumage of birds. The decorations and things on the side carved in the wood, they're very ornately carved, painted with gold paint, and they have blues and purples and greens and reds, the colors of very brightly colored feathers. And sitting up at the very front of the boat, up on the statue that's there in the front, is actually a bird in itself. It is a very beautiful, large green and red bird. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. You can roll some sort of nature history, something like that if you'd like to figure out kind of what it is. But this ship is named the Quetzal. And standing out in front of this ship is a tiefling man with blood red skin, short black hair. It's kind of done in a pompadour style hair. Leaning up against the ship. It doesn't look like he should be able to, but maybe some magic that he has gives him the ability. He's got his arms crossed in front of him. He's in sailor's leathers. And he's just got the biggest, goofiest smile on his face. You can see his sharp, pointy teeth. And the smile is like so big, it's just borderline creepy. And you hear the bird squawking on the front of the ship there, squawking, the Grindle, which is the name of the library that's employing. Oh, I can show
Were we
you.
given the name of the ship?
Yep, it's the Quetzal. Quetzal. And this is what the gentleman looks like that you're seeing once it loads.
I was wondering.
I told you they would do things your players would recognize, but your characters wouldn't. Some of you players.
Well, I see a giant boat of multi-technicolors. I am heading straight for it.
Yeah.
Even if it's not where I'm going. Oh, it's just like, oh, colors!
What about?
I'm going to put my sandwich away and try and find some place to wipe my fingers off discreetly, and then as I head to the as I head toward the, is there a place to get onto the boat?
Mm-hmm. There's an option.
And this guy's near that?
Yep, he's like outside the ship, kind of leaning against it, and he looks like he's kind of maybe using a levitate spell or something because he's floating a little bit as he leans back up against it with his arms crossed and so on.
Okay, because I will go up to him and be like, "Hi, I'm Pink. I've never met a real sailor before. How long have you been doing this?"
Oh, for a very long time. It's nice to meet you, Pink. My name is Back Class Hippolito. You call me Back because I got your back.
That's witty.
I just burst out laughing from fucking 10 feet away.
Yep, there you go.
She's like checking out his horns. Well, is it your ship?
Absolutely. This is my beautiful ship. I bought it with my own money not that long ago. Go ahead and climb on in. I'll be up shortly. The crew's up there. They'll help you out. And you hear some commotion from up top.
Your ship? Well, she's now she's being a little bit more flirty. That's a impressive ship. Hope that we get to talk more.
Well, I'll be captain in it, so maybe you can come sit up by my captain's chair and we can have a chat while we're doing some sailing.
Oh, I would be honored. Thank you.
You have a captain's chair?
As she walks up the thing, she's checking out his rear.
Well, he's in leathers, so he's got like a tight tiefling booty right there by his tail.
Yeah.
His tail swishes
And,
back
and tails are important. Yeah. And her tail is like doing little twirlies.
Wonderful. I will get you a ship map here in just a moment as soon as everybody gets through or over to.
Was Ard or Brevin was the person I saw shoot someone heading towards the boat?
He was literally 10 feet away from this conversation the entire time, just staring at the boat in awe.
Is it bins with like scamper off the roof and like slide down the sort of drain pipe and scamper and run down and just sort of like all fours running across the floor towards them. So yeah, his 3-foot frame goes down to like a foot off the floor, and then like stands up in front of this captain.
Hello, friend. Bins is here for job.
For the Grendel, for the artifact hunting, right?
See. Bins for hunting. Yes. Okay. Go aboard.
Yep, you're gonna go right on the boat. Nice to meet you, Bins. I'm Back. You call me Back because I got your back. Finger guns.
Again,
And
I will just burst out laughing.
what's it called? The gang technique, right? That's what it's called. Thing they walk up.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
fine.
you.
Okay, friend. thank for opportunity.
And then like scampers up the just all four like run. So whenever Bins is running, it's on all fours like a dog. And then just like up and then finds either starts climbing the rigging or just like finds a high perch spot because he likes to be up so he can see stuff and he's smart.
Yeah.
He likes being good.
As you climb and you're kind of getting up there in the ship, looking around everything, you see only a couple of crew members. You can only see 3. There's a little goblin girl. She wears like a mage's robes, very indicative of a wizard, and she seems to be being called Surti by the others. There is another tall human man with revolver strapped at his side, very indicative of maybe another gunslinger, and he goes by the name of Dis. And there is a woman who looks vaguely elvish, but she just has this little bit of pegginess to her. She is a hexblood half-elf, and strapped to her back is a shield and a very large sword, and she seems to be directing the others. Maybe she's the first mate, and she goes by the name of Githa. Ard, you're the only one not on the ship yet. What are you doing?
I'm gonna walk over towards this tiefling, Jack Sparrow style, leant back, walking stupidly. He's acting like a pirate even though he's never been on a boat before. And he's just gonna go, "Ahoy, me matey!" Is that what they say? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't do pirate stuff.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not a pirate either. I'm actually a merchant. It's nice to meet you. You call me back because I got your back. Finger guns.
This is the only time he doesn't laugh and he's just like, "I don't get it."
You don't have to get it. You just got to know that I got your back. Are you ready to go? You're here for the job?
Yes. Job.
Wonderful. Come on, then. Come on up here. And he kind of levitates all the way up. You walk up the gangplank. You see the same as the others, as they've kind of seen just a few crew members. And he heads up onto the back end of the ship where the helm is. Got a little map here for you. Up on the main deck, he's going to go up towards where the 5 is on the main deck. And when he tells you he's going to the helm, you're assuming because the ship is in water that it's going to be like a steering wheel sort of thing. What do they call those? Ship wheel? Whatever that's called. The circle thing that steers the ship. That. You would assume that's what it's going to be, but it's not. It's a chair. A very, very ornately decorated chair, and the bird from the front of the ship flies and lands right on top of it. And the chair doesn't seem to be connected to the ship. It seems to be levitating in itself with this sort of sheen of red magical energy surrounding the chair. And he sits down in the chair, and you're able to position yourself on the main deck anywhere you want to be for takeoff, or up in the crow's nest if you prefer. If you go up in the crow's nest, you won't be alone. You'll be up there with Surti, the little goblin. And he doesn't say a word, but he sits in his chair and he kind of sits back, leans back on his elbow, looks real Rico Suave, and the ship begins to move. It moves away from where the gangplank was down at, and it starts to go all by itself. There's no wind or anything propelling it. It's just moving. And it starts to pull out from the island and get away from the island a little bit. You get out about a quarter of a mile, And as it starts to move forward, it slowly starts to lift up out of the water and into the air and begins to sort of go. It's just like, it's not a super steep ascent, but similar to the way an airplane takes off without throwing you off the deck. And as it starts to raise, you may or may not feel uncomfortable, uneasy, a little queasy. This is something new, probably for all of you. And the air that surrounds the ship begins to change. As it starts to feel like it's thinning out as you rise through the atmosphere, there's this sort of whoa, sort of that goes over the whole ship. And this shimmering, almost invisible to the naked eye bubble forms around the Quetzal as an air pocket is formed with the fresh island ocean air of Calderland. So it's still very breathable. It smells just like the sea. And it's very nice. And it begins to ascend higher and higher and higher, up past the clouds, up higher and higher and higher towards space. And higher and higher before it kind of levels out when you're surrounded again by a sea, but now it's a sea of stars. And after it sort of levels out and begins to travel at a forward motion instead of like an angled ascension, the crew starts to move around a little bit, and you're comfortable and able to move around a little bit as well. Gravity is normal. So
you made an assumption there, Julie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you made the assumption that I'm comfortable.
As comfortable as you can be floating on a ship in a sea of stars that you just, within the last, hour-ish or so, went from the ocean to space.
Because at some point, she goes from looking pretty calm, but the calm was actually shock, and she kind of just goes, "What the fuck?"
It's a spaceship.
It's a space galleon, says back the captain.
Ship is ship.
Hold on. So we've left the planet.
Yes, we have. We've left the astral plane. You're now experiencing the astral plane. It's beautiful, isn't it?
What makes it so ashful?
I am a ship captain. I am not an astrologer. I don't know anything about the astrals except for how beautiful it is and what to avoid. Like that, and help
Isn't
the bow.
Isn't the astral plane like far away? So we're going far away is basically what we're getting at here.
Well, far is only a relative term. Far doesn't really have a distance. Far could be 20 minutes up the road to your granny's for some milk and cookies, or far could be another plane of existence.
Okay. You know what? That's a valid point. That far can be a measure of time. And if we were measuring it by time, how far would we be going?
Well, it should be about a 2-hour ride from here.
Oh.
My old girl, and he'll smack his chair there where he's sitting. My old girl, she moves pretty darn fast.
A Chazagirl?
My ship is the woman. She's my love of my life. She's my lady.
Oh, well, that's
Don't tell his chair, but I think he's having an affair with the ship.
Well, that's disappointing. But okay. 2 hours. Excellent. Where are we going?
We're going to the Rock. I guess it's your first assignment, but not necessarily your first assignment. Yeah, kind of your first assignment. We're going to pick up a package on the Rock.
On the Rock.
On Rock.
The Rock? What's Dwayne doing out here?
Bindi has like scampered down after, like, his eyes are like the size of dinner plates because they're out of the planet. Like, little kobold is out of his mind. But yeah, comes down to like join everyone up there on the deck. It's just like, wow, what a rock? And then like holds up like a fist-sized stone sort of thing, like, bro, right, like rock.
Well, kind of like that rock, but it's a bigger one, and it's a floating one, and it's got a whole city on top of it. It's out there, and he'll point out in the distance ahead of the ship, and just at the horizon where your eye line is, you can see a faint glowing, the kind of glowing a planet would just give in space kind of glowing, but it's not a very big one, and it's not a planet. It's just where he points. You could roll a history check if you want to see if you've ever heard of the rock or know anything about it, especially if you maybe came from a Spelljammer land. You probably might have heard of it before.
Cool. Where's my history?
She's just wandering around the deck, trying to absorb this experience and have it go from dreamlike to real.
There we go. There's my first fail. 7.
I mean, I rolled with disadvantage, but it still gave me a 19, so what the hell?
No, it didn't roll disadvantage. It just rolled regular, I think.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, he's never been, like, he's never been off planet. He wouldn't know.
Probably not,
So,
but
that's
maybe
an 8.
heard of it. Yeah, the 8 is on par there. Yeah, you've never heard of the rock specifically. Ard, you have been in space before, and you understand the difference between astral space and wild space and where the astral plane connects, so on and so forth. You understand that from being in space, but you don't know of the rock. You've never heard of that before, and it sounds like an odd name for a place. And Pink, this is the polar opposite of anything you've ever experienced, since you live below the crust, nowhere near above it.
Yeah, I'm currently trying to figure out how I could go above everything, and it's dark again. So that one's not making a whole lot of sense to me right in the moment.
It's because the world is flat. That's why.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh,
So
Odd is a flat earther.
of course.
Oh, flat planet,
So
I
you're-
guess.
the captain tells you, like, there's quarters below if you need to rest, if you're feeling space sick at all. There's a mess hall and food, anything that you need, anything along those lines. But we should be there in about 2 hours, and I'll give you these papers. This is what I've got from the master scribe at the Grendel, as I take employment from them and take contracts as for ferrying and shuttling folks along to different places. That's how I ended up here. So he'll give you, as a group, since you're all sort of together there, the scroll from the master scribe of the Grendel, who is the employer of your contract.
Oh my god, it's an Elder Scroll.
Well, it's a scroll from an elder, yes.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
So when you open it, it just tells you, it's like a greetings adventurer. Thank you for being a part of this mission. We appreciate you and your dedication to furthering knowledge. Your first task is to retrieve a package from the rock. More specifically, it is located at the Happy Beholder, a tavern in the Low City on the rock.
Oh, this guy sounds like a nice place. A happy beholder, that's new.
Does it say what the package is?
I don't know, but it's got to be something cool if it's coming from the happy beholder.
The it's in quotations, the package. If any of you are magically inclined or maybe good at Arcana, you could check over the scroll to maybe see if there's anything between the lines, or if you speak Thieves' Cant, you might be able to pick up some hidden clues. You do. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So as you're sort of looking it over and you're like, well, does it say what the package is? You look and you see within the letters and quotation marks of the package are hidden symbols in Thieves' Cant that don't have direct meaning, but they translate out to something along the lines of you're picking up another member of the party, but it's a very special member, so they don't list the name or anything like that. But
Okay.
the symbols along the lines are indicate that it's another individual.
Can I see that? And she's like trying to get all the symbols in. And so finally she goes, yeah, so there's a secret message in this, and it says that we're picking up somebody. He's either special or ugly. It's kind of in the script, the writings. I'm going with special. It's a bit longer than
I'm going with ugly.
But he could be ugly. One of the two.
Yeah, I picked my side. You can't change. I'm ugly. You're special.
He might be both.
Friend? Is friend?
Doesn't really say. I mean, it says he's a member. He'll be joining us, basically. I don't think Thieves' Cant has a word for friend.
No. If joining is friend.
Sure.
Need to initiate the new guy. I'm gonna haze him so hard.
No shoot. No shoot, no guy.
Why not?
I watch you.
Hey, I never miss. Unless I want to. And then I miss all the time.
I have a question about that. So where I come from, people getting shot is a fairly common thing, to be honest. But it's mostly, interpersonal. You're like a official shooter of people?
I collect bounties from people. He was a bounty and was escaping.
Like an assassin, but without the killing.
Oh no, I kill people. But that one was bringing alive, so I shot him in the knees.
Oh. Well, that doesn't seem that efficient. Why would you bring somebody in alive?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to understand the culture. That's all.
Vince points to his bow. He's like, I know shoot people. Animal.
Good.
Well, I mean,
that's good for you.
Was an animal, so.
No, people, animal.
I don't make a habit of shooting people either, unless they try and steal my stuff.
Can you?
Or my friend's stuff. Or they try and shoot me first. Or, sometimes if they say something really mean about my mom, okay, then I'll shoot them. But other than that, or if they look threatening, sometimes if they're from the wrong town.
Oh, I know. I hate out of townspeople.
Oh, heavens. All right. So you're able to spend the trip conversing, eating, resting, whatever it is that you want to do. We're going to cut over to a gentleman. Pale skin, red hair, not having much belongings on him at the moment. Just finishing up an encounter with a celestial being who had bestowed a little bit of power and magic on this gentleman and told him that the way out would open up when it was time. Frederick, you're sort of drifting along. You just had your encounter with the consecrated warrior, a goddess of a world called Sumarkula. You asked her how to get there, and she told you she would show you the way. And just before she disappears from you, you experience a few flashes of what feels like somebody else's memory, but it feels like a memory and a vision all at once. Maybe she shares a bit of memory with you. And she shows you first a path charted through the stars to a place in the astral plane called the Rock. She shows you an image of a tavern with a large beholder inside of it. Then she shows you the image of a ship. The ship is beautiful. It has red and green and gold in its design. And the last thing she shows you is the face of a tiefling man holding a scroll in his hand. Those are the 4 images she shows you. And upon receiving these images, the magic of this celestial being and the drifting through the astral plane, together it sort of winds through your mind into the way out of here. And something happens as this does where you've never experienced anything like this before. You don't understand how you know things that you shouldn't know because you've never experienced them. But the path from where you are to where you're going is very clear through vivid images in your mind. And you have this sort of sense of purpose now, this feeling of having something to do other than just drift as you have done for the last 71 years.
Ooh.
This sense of purpose sort of invigorates you, where you feel like, as somebody who's a sworn protector, you now feel sworn to protect in the name of the consecrated warrior. And this feeling of protection sort of radiates through you, and it makes you feel strong, and it makes you feel embolstered, and it gives you the ability to cast magics that you weren't quite capable of casting before. And you understand that your purpose is to guide and protect. So you travel, you take off. You're able to fly through the astral plane without a ship just by simply using your mind. You're able to travel. Your propulsion isn't fast. You just kind of glide along. And that mental path that you have from the memories and this feeling and this magic guides you along, and you're able to steer yourself in the direction of something that you've never been to before or even heard of, the Rock, this place called the Rock. Why is it called the Rock? You don't quite know why it's called the Rock, but you're headed towards it. And you spend a few days traveling and propelling yourself using the powers of your mind to do so, these memories feeding into you. Like you're like a Mandalorian with a jetpack right now, speeding through space. And as you go, you pass by different things. You pass by different worlds, bright stars. You pass by a system where there's a binary star. You pass by these creatures that can only be described to look like a humpback whale, but floating through space. You see some ships go by, one in the shape of something that looks similar to a snail. You've never quite seen it before, but it has a shell on the back and then this sort of wavy body style underneath. You pass one that looks similar to a dragonfly, even one that looks kind of like a squid. You know of creatures that looks like this. You've seen them in the material plane before. They're very basic animals, but to see them flying and large, the size of a ship, is a whole new experience for you. The colors are bright blues, pinks, purples, vibrant throughout this travel through the astral spaces. And after a few days, you begin to see off in the distance at the horizon line as you're traveling this just small blip of light on the horizon. And as you sort of get closer, the blip becomes bigger and more than just light. You start to see it take form. It starts to take like an oval or an oblong sort of shape. And the closer you get, the closer you get, the closer you get, the image of the rock flashes in your mind and you realize you're almost to where you're going. The rock appears to you as this large half of an asteroid that's sort of floating and has a city upon it. And you're able to fly yourself in and sort of land down, and you land in the lower city because that's where your sort of memory guides you. You didn't know there was a lower city, a middle city, an underside. You didn't know any of that about this place, but it feels like you do know because it feels like you've been here before. It's conflicting inside of you as you feel like, I have no fucking idea where I am, but it also feels so familiar to you. And you find yourself
where to go?
instinctively heading towards a place called the Happy Beholder. It's down
As he walks there, he walks with purpose.
Yeah, you feel purposeful. You feel rejuvenated, invigorated. You feel like your life has meaning again, as for so long it didn't. You were just drifting along. 71 years is a long time for somebody to just be drifting along, experiencing essentially nothingness. And you head through the lower city where you land. You land sort of near the markets. You're kind of able to just float down. You land near the markets, the lesser market. It's a little busy. There's people out and about, traveling along, so on and so forth. But you head down the streets, down Grand Street, down to Dock Street, and you follow Dock Street down until you find the tavern, the Happy Beholder. You see the front of the tavern, and it feels again that same familiarity, that dualistic experience of I'm fucking lost, but I know this place, sort of. And you approach the Happy Beholder. It is a very bustling, lively tavern. You open the door, and to the shock of it, there is a very large beholder inside, wrapped around underneath of the main eye on his main body. There is like an apron, and he seems to be moving around through the tavern, providing drinks.
Do I know what the stereotypical beholder is?
You could roll me history, arcana, something along those lines to see.
Oh, do you want us to roll in the VVT, or can we use physical dice too?
Either one, whichever one makes you happy. Your shiny click clacks, the digital dice, whatever you want to do.
You said history, or what else?
History, arcana, whatever skill that you think it is that you would use to recall the information about a beholder. If it's other than what I listed, you can tell me why you think that it is that.
History it is.
All right.
That's a 4.
A
I don't know
4.
shit.
Yeah, so you've never
Oh,
you recognize the name. Of course you're aware of, monsters and legends and such. You recognize hearing the name maybe a long time ago. You've been drifting for a while, so maybe you do, maybe you don't recognize it. But he is very, very seemingly personable. He's very happy. He talks to everybody all around. And he just is floating from place to place, delivering drinks, taking orders, experiencing bits of camaraderie with people who you could assume to be regular patrons.
Do I have any gold on me at this point? Or any currency?
Whatever your background gold is.
Okay.
Currently you have. You will be receiving more, you just haven't got to that point yet.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Frederick's gonna go ahead and walk up to the bar and wait for I don't know, the beholder, the happy beholder to come by.
beholder
So
pronoun.
you go up to the bar and you wait a moment, and after a moment the beholder makes his way back after delivering some drinks. He comes back and you see the little name tag on his little apron that's just under his eye, says Large Luigi.
Which, of course, did anybody have the thought that infers the existence of small Luigi at some point?
Welcome to the Happy Beholder, traveler. What can I get for you?
Oi, be Frederick Michael's rancher service. And he holds out his hand to, and then, you don't do handshakes, do you?
Not necessarily, no. But it's still a pleasure to meet you. And one of his eye stalks kind of comes down like a wave.
All right. What do you be having on specials for the day?
As far as food or drink?
Yes. I've been drifting for a little bit.
Yes,
I need some
you
spice.
say. Roll a D6 and a D92.
A who?
Obviously, 92 is not a standard die. You could roll a D100, and anything over 92 will count as a 92.
Nope.
The D6 is a 5.
Okay.
And 72.
Great, wonderful. So the drink that is on the special board is named Blackbeard's Severed Head. It is a rum drink. It has all kinds of things in it. It's got dark rum, spiced rum, orange liqueur, allspice dram, passion fruit syrup, lemon juice, lime juice, and a splash of club soda. And it has a little sparkly star next to it. And then at the bottom of the menu board, the little sparkly star says, contains or may experience magical phenomenon when partaking in these items.
Phenomena.
Okay. Phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Yeah, all right. So you said 72.
Yes.
Okay. And the special food of the day is giant spider leg that has been tempura fried, served with a sour weed soup on the side. It has a similar texture to crab if you are to eat it. So that's the special.
I'll be taking that, and I'll be sitting over yonder.
All right. And so you reach out to pay, and the meal, because it contains a magical drink, costs you 5 gold in total. Okay. And so you reach out, and when he goes to take your money, he notices on your hand is a tattoo that you maybe might not have noticed before because you've been focused on drifting rather than your body experience. And he recognizes this tattoo. The tattoo is in the shape of a tower shield. And it has a sort of blue shimmery ink there in the middle. And a bladed hammer sort of behind the shield. And it's a very ornate, intricately done tattoo, lots of beautiful scroll work and things. And it's on the back of your hand and the back of your wrist at the same time. Kind of like this area where it is. And when he recognizes that tattoo, and he says, "Oh, you're the one I've been waiting for. I have some things for you."
Oh, am I now?
He goes off behind the bar, comes into a back storeroom, and comes out with a crate. And he sets this crate down. And inside this crate is shield, weaponry, aka your starting equipment, a pouch of 100 gold pieces, and a small blue stone with a gold spiral on it. Yeah, a friend left these here for you. Said you'd be coming after him and you'd have that tattoo. So yes, I've been waiting for you.
Mighty kind of you.
Enjoy.
I'll just be...
And he gives you your stuff. And I'll bring your food out in just a moment.
You have a changing room. These rags won't be doing me much good anymore.
Yeah, you can use the loo right back there.
Ah, much obliged.
I forgot. I have a picture of this for you. A picture of this jolly green giant of a beholder.
I thought you, for a second there, I thought you said,
And
I have
about
a picture of this Lou.
No, not the changing part. I don't have a picture of that. But where did it go? Is it there or is it not? Is it just a black screen? Is it loading for anybody else? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
There's loading.
Great. He's not greeny. Cool. So, about the time when Frederick is arriving and getting his belongings, he goes to change and then comes back out, is just a few minutes before the Quetzal pulls into port in the docks outside of the Rock. So Pink, Ard, Bindi, you kind of see like he tells everybody prepare for descent. The crew gets around and the ship, it doesn't really have to go down as steep as it would if it was going to land back at in Sumarkula, but it goes kind of on like a little bit of a descent, and it makes its way into the docks in the lower district, and it slides right up. And he tells you, "All right, we're here. The tavern should be just up the way."
They were literal, weren't they, when they said the rocks?
It's a floating asteroid.
It's a giant floating rock. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And you pull up to the docks just out in front, where I just pinged there on the map. Just out across the street and down the way a little bit from where the Happy Beholder is. And the captain tells you, "All right, I need to do some ship things. We'll see you when you get back. You should be able to find the Happy Beholder just up the way there. You can't miss it."
So does this place have like day and night?
Maybe they live in eternal twilight. I just never spend enough time here to know that.
It's night. See, Sky?
Anyway, it doesn't really have a sun.
Yeah, it's not really daylight. It's not really dark. It's just
Yeah.
very much closer to space than the atmosphere of a planet.
And does this plane glow?
The city itself, the top part of the rock, does have a glow to it, which you can assume is from the lights throughout the city. And you've seen magical lighting before. You're from a place that doesn't have natural
Right.
sunlight. You have bioluminescence, so there's mushrooms that glow. Then there's also fey lights that they use, which are essentially just floating orbs of light, things like that. And then artificers can make lanterns and
So it
so
almost
on and
feels
such.
familiar. Does it
Yeah,
feel
very-
kind of? Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would feel very familiar to you, as it's natural darkness with an artificial sort of daylight around.
And what kind of people are around when we
All
get off
kinds.
this?
There's all kinds. There's elves, there's humans. You see Gif, which were what the Dockmaster was, the hippo people. You see the Haldozi, Plasmoids, Streakreen, Githyanki, all kinds of different races and such.
Races that would be rare on world though, right?
Mostly, yes. Mostly would be rare planet side, but there are some humans, gnomes, dwarves, things like that, but
Okay.
very few and far between in comparison to the ones that feel very odd to probably all of you, except for maybe Ard, given that you've come from a place similar to this. You probably recognize some of these races a bit more than Pink or Bindi would. Even Frederick.
She's taking notes as they walk.
Absolutely. It doesn't take you long to get to the Happy Beholder. 5 minutes at most after getting off the ship, getting your land legs back, gathering yourself, and then heading off. What do you do? What you doing?
Well, when we get to when I have nothing planned until we actually get to the beholder.
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't take you long. You get there pretty quickly. You're there.
When we get there and I see it, I'm like, that's an actual beholder.
Yes.
Well,
It has eyes. Many eyes.
Okay. Those are unbelievably lethal. And I've never seen them drawn with such exuberance.
Is
Also, it is quite possible, just so everybody understands, that this entire rock exists only because he wants it to.
okay.
Yeah. So, I'd be nice.
His friend. Why
Yeah,
not
yes.
be nice?
I just don't, don't undertip.
What's tip?
When somebody gives you a drink and does good service, and you give them a little extra money than what it costs to buy it.
Oh, that's
And
strange.
especially if he's your server, I would tip very well.
Oh, okay. Beans no normally tip.
Well, yeah, of course not. They work here. They get paid.
Yeah,
Oh my
they-
god, that's such a jerky thing to say. Come on.
yeah, they get a living wage, right?
Yeah, exactly. You get a living wage, right? I don't need to tip you.
We don't do tipping, so
Neither do we. Stupid. Anyways,
anyways.
She's just shaking her head like, I'm cultured.
Hey, I am very cultured.
Well,
Okay.
if where I come, if you don't tip, you get stabbed. That's basically what happens.
I mean,
fucking-
where I come from, you say something wrong, you get stabbed. You look at something wrong, you get stabbed. So people just like to
Yeah,
stab
so-
people where I'm from.
You're in this tavern, and Pink is talking to you about beholders and such. And this beholder, like I said, just under his mouth and eye has like a little apron hanging from him. And you can see he appears very friendly as he goes about and delivers orders and takes orders and tends behind the bar and stops and chats with what you could assume to be regulars and so on. Frederick, roll me a perception check while you're sitting here chilling. It's very counterintuitive for you, especially Pink, from what you know from the creatures where you are from and how beholders behave where you are from.
Oh, they're the masters of their horrific demands.
Yeah, absolutely. But he is definitely out of the box. He's something different than what you've ever experienced before. He seems very happy and cheerful. Do you folks find a table? Do you go to the bar? What do you do together collectively as a group? And you said you rolled a
Is there
4.
anyone
Fred?
playing music?
Yes.
Yeah,
four.
there's somebody playing like a little lute. I forgot to change the music. There's like tavern music going on, you know.
I immediately walk over to them and just start dancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find a chair near the dance floor.
Okay.
Ben, is there anything that Bins can like kind of? I don't want to climb, but just sort of like to get a vantage point because we're obviously looking for someone. And
Yeah, so these tables, there's a couple of like booth style tables, but then there's some high top tables as well, and then obviously like rafters and such. But you could climb up a high top table. Maybe you picked, maybe Pink picked a table next to the dance floor where Ard is doing a jig, and it's a high top one, so you could kind of climb up to the top of it and see because it would sit higher up.
yeah, because
I look back at him and go, "What are you doing?"
Bins is small, so need height to see. Good eyes, no height.
Do you know what we're looking for?
No. Look for friend.
Okay.
You said, Frederick, you only got a 4 perception. I'm sorry.
Yes.
What's your passive?
My passive perception is 11.
11. Okay. Which one of you has the scroll from the mission?
I probably do. I was the last one holding it weird, reading the Thieves' Queen.
Okay. Perfect. So your passive is above a 10, and you just really needed a 10. So I'm going to give you that because a 4 really sucks ass. So as this new group of people sort of comes in, and I assume you have your head sort of on a swivel as you eat and such because you had the flashes of a red tiefling holding a scroll. And the scroll is very familiar to you as they sort of come in. And you have not necessarily that you can lay eyes on the scroll itself because maybe Pink has put that in their pocket or in their pack or whatever. But you sort of, it's the feeling of your hair standing on the back of your neck or the tingle you get in your shoulders when somebody sort of stands behind you. But it's like a recognition, a familiarity. The presence of the scroll triggers that in you when this group of people walks in. And as you kind of focus, the memory that you experienced before with the tiefling gentleman sort of changes, and it kind of washes away as you're like remembering it, and it changes to this group of people that you just had seen walk in.
All right. Well, takes one last bite of spider leg. Downs his mug of
Dungeness spider.
drink,
Yeah,
and
you got a nice drink. I forgot. Let's roll some dice.
Because I downed it.
Yeah, you got Blackbeard's severed head. You're gonna
Yep.
roll me. You're gonna roll me three dice, 2d6 individual results from the d6 and a d4.
4.
On the
first
D6?
D6. The second D6
Okay.
is a 6.
Okay.
And a 2 on the D4.
Great. So you're feeling extremely emboldened, and you have a +2 to your intimidation for the next 4 hours. Resistant. You have resistance to fire damage for the next 6 hours. And we're going to go ahead and say that you're not drunk, like past Constitution modifier drunk, but you're feeling a little bit buzzed for the next 2 hours, like pleasantly so. Like just before the point where you decide, right around the point where you would decide, maybe I should hand the keys to my horse to somebody else because I'm not safe to trot along.
Well, he downs the drink and stands up and walks up to them. And you all see he looks human. He's got like the pale white skin and a shock of like a faux hawk red hair with shaved on the sides and big bushy red chops on the sides of his face. Mutton chops.
Yeah.
He's wearing chainmail, got a sword and shield, and he left this pack of stuff at the table. Whatever. He walks up to the group and holds out his hand and says, "Frederick McAllister, at your service. How may I help you? I assume you be the ones that I'm going to be working with, right?"
She looks up.
Vince
She looks
looks
up
up
at.
and-
Yeah, she looks up. She looks up at Benji and goes, "Found him."
His friend? Friend! Hello, friend.
He still has his hand out for a handshake. Hello there.
Oh, and she instead of giving you a handshake, she lets you kiss her hand.
And he kisses your hand.
Looks down at his little clawed hands and like looks at your big hand like
Yeah,
He
what
holds
I'm
out
supposed
a,
to-
he holds out a
Sides.
finger for you to grab onto.
grabs like both sides of hand and like shakes.
And the last member of our party is doing the jig over there.
Yeah, and Deadpool's on the dance floor.
Yeah, I'm over here just fucking doing the fucking bye dance by myself. It does not fit at all with the music that's being played, but that's what he's dancing.
Right, so, what kind of adventure are we in for?
Actually, you were the adventure.
I'm the adventure. How
You
exciting.
are the
How
adventure.
exciting.
It sounds like mission accomplished. I mean, if they're all this easy, I am going to make some serious buck.
What's a
we-
bug?
We was
Coin, you know?
no.
Coin, yes.
We
I-
was asked to
Apologies,
find-
I've been drifting for quite a long time. Some things and nuances are not... I'm not aware of anymore. Anyway,
Yeah, we've been using fiat currency in my country. It's a lot easier to manipulate people with that.
It like looks down at your feet like
What? No, fiat. Never mind.
No, he said drift, but no drift. He stand.
because we're in the Astral Realm, can we float on this island or no?
There is a center of gravity on,
Okay.
on any of the Spelljammer ships and any of the planetary type things. There is a center of gravity. So when you come into land at a place like this, you're under its gravity and air bubble. So you're not really drifting here, no.
Well, I was in my own boat for quite a long while, and then I kind of drifted out here to this this island for quite a long time. And just gets that 1,000-yard stare for a second. Anyway, what are we going from here?
I think we're kind of all hoping that you had another scroll.
One moment.
This is how they communicate with us, she says, holding up the scroll.
And he turns around and goes back to his items, his pack of stuff, and starts looking through it and seeing if there's like any scroll or what they're talking about.
2 of them. There's 2 in there.
Okay.
If you unroll the first one, it's a map. It is the map of Sumarkula, but it seems to be more than just a standard map. The of the ocean sort of moves like waves. The snow over Calderland sort of seems to blow in the wind. It seems like it's a living map, and there are moving creatures on the map, which you can see if I pull up Sumar's map. You can see there are creature annotations and such. There are different things that sort of move around the map like it is a living map. And written in the corner, like from the person who made the map, says Elamander star charts. It'll be on like the back corner, so it doesn't get on the actual map. So it comes from Elamander star charts. The other one is a scroll which has essentially a mission briefing, and it says, "Greeting adventurers, happy you have found each other. There are still more to join along your journey, but have no fear, they will be here. You just need to go to this place." And it tells you that you need to go to a place called Ton. And in Ton is another place, like it tells you Ton, and then it says underneath of it, it tells you where the next place is. Let me pull up my notes here. To the Blossom Heart Tree, where you will meet a druid who will tell you more about the item you will be looking for. And it says happy traveling, and this Grandmaster Scribe Carlisle at the bottom.
I'm going to copy everything each one of the scrolls say into my book as well.
I didn't say that I brought them over yet.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That is
When he does that, as we go, as a general rule, I'm just going to say I do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He pockets the map and then brings over the scroll with the quest on it and says, "Well, it seems we are to meet a druid of sorts at the what was the tree again?" She just stopped her face.
Yeah, it's the Blossom Tree.
Best position of reason.
Perfect timing. Seems we're supposed to meet a druid at some blossom tree.
Oh,
And he hands over the scroll.
where's the Blossom Tree? Is this another planet? Or like a rock?
Three back home, but we left home.
Is that blossom tree on that map that I pocketed?
Yes.
Pulls out the map. Well, looks like it's right around here on Sumarkula.
Yeah, I'll ping it. Do you see my ping on the map?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep, that's where it is.
Look at the clouds are moving.
I know, it really is something special, isn't it?
Do you think if you look at it really closely, you can actually see people on the map?
He holds the map right up to his face.
I don't think you can see I won't. If you took the observant feat, I would say you might be able to like bird's eye view something, but at level 1, probably not.
Probably. Okay. Not the one of you. Not the one of them, sorry.
If you shake it, you think
As Frederick kind of holds the map to his face, you guys can see the back of it, and it says Elamander star charts, but there seems to be some more like writing underneath. And essentially what it says is that you can bring this map to Elamander at any time to be updated.
Nice. Puts the map down. I don't.
Does anybody know who Elamander is?
Not a single clue.
Okay.
Um,
So
Rolls the map back
okay,
up,
so
packets it again.
So we have to go see Captain Tight Pants back, and then head back to the planet. To the planet, and then to this ton. What's the
Ton.
$2 mean again? Ton.
Yeah, Tom.
Ton place, and then we go see a tree.
What is an affectionate name to call your captain?
Tight
Yes.
Pants Man is a good name for a captain, right?
That's my name, and you may not use it, just so everybody knows. Okay, let's go.
I think you probably have to pull Deadpool off the floor where they're dancing to the Backstreet Boys.
Then no one has interacted with me since I
Man.
went off the guns, so...
friend, we
Did you-
leaving.
Did he not he didn't listen to any of this, did he?
No.
No.
Yeah.
He was off in the corner.
Hey, happy feet, we're leaving.
Friend, we leaving.
You say that, and I like pop over, look at you, and just went, I love that penguin. And walk towards you.
Yeah, so you head back out. You get
Fuck is that penguin?
you get Happy Feet off the dance floor, and everybody heads back out down to
I grab my items before we leave,
Yep,
and
you make
another
sure you have-
piece of the spider leg, and just I'm chomping on it while we go.
Yeah, you could get a doggy bag from Luigi if you wanted. If anybody else wants something to eat while you're here, you can do that as well. You could get the special, or you could order
I
from the
just
menu.
finished my sandwich from earlier. Besides,
Yeah,
I grew
perfect.
up with spider legs. I'm tired of them.
Ben would,
Yeah.
Ben would see if there's any fire water up here, or if it's different.
It's all different. There's nothing called fire water on the menu, but there are spicy
It wasn't
drinks.
in Takoku though.
Yeah, nothing called fire water. So you're able to, converse for a few, as you would somebody you just meet, grab all your shit, and head out. You head back out down to the Quetzal where Back is waiting. As you approach Frederick, the face of this tiefling does become very familiar to you. You recognize it as the face from one of your visions, dreams, memories, whatever the fuck kind of magical shenanigans were going on. You recognize him. And he's sort of like levitating up off the dock, some leaned up against the ship, and, waiting for everybody to approach.
Frederick walks right up to him and goes, Frederick McCall, at your service, and holds out his hand for a handshake.
He says, "Back class Hippolito, you can call me back because I got your back." Finger guns.
And he's like, and Frederick's like, ah.
Yeah, perfect. So he gets you all on the
pull out
ship.
my actual gun and go, eh.
As I pass him, I'm just like, man.
Yeah. So you're all together. The four of you are all together. You have formed this party of adventurers who is going to hunt artifacts and things of magical nature. You completed your first sort of mission, so to speak, of getting a hold of Frederick, taking a small trip into the astral plane. You may come back, you may not, you don't know yet. And you'll gain a level. You're going to level up after this because we do one session at level 1, and then 2 at 2.
And we
3
did
at and you will start next session out just after the ship lands you in the new place where you're going. How awesome. That's the end of session 1.
Whee!
Huzzah!
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad
good
the most interesting we did was watch Vinny dance. So, no,
Oh, yeah.
Vinny didn't dance.
Kevin.
Or dance.
I danced.
Oh, dance,
I-
yeah.
Was having a blast in the corner.
You can dance if you want
Yeah.
to. You can leave your friends behind.
Your friends don't dance.
If
and
you
don't dance
want to
well,
go
then your friends
around
might.
and say where, like, who you are, where you can be found on the interwebs. If you're somebody that has places like that, you can be found on the interweb. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I'm gonna, once everybody does what they want to do there, I will roll the outro video and we will see if there's anybody to raid while that video plays. Let me look.
You want me to start again?
Yeah, you can. I usually go whoever's next to me and go all around, so that works.
Well, I am Christy. You can find me on the internet at the Christy Quill, although I don't think I've posted much in the last 6 months, so it won't be that exciting. I'm glad to be playing again, and I'm glad to be back on Hooligans as well. Thank you, Hooli.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
I'm enjoying this new crowd, and I'm looking forward to our new players in a couple of weeks, and exploring this new character, which I should probably make some backstory for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, awesome. Over to you, Vinny.
Well, I'm Vinny, otherwise known as on the internet as Rith McHale, and you will be able to find all of my socials under that same name, or you could go to rithmchale.com, and that'll be my Begins page with all my socials on it. Alright, your turn.
You're silly.
Sentient microwave, it is your turn.
Oh, my turn. The only place you can find me is on the fucking dark web.
Giggity.
That's a hell of an answer. I dig it. Good job.
Terrifying. I'm David. On most platforms, Possessor is where I'm at. Possession Games was something I was going to be starting up. It's me on Twitter. Other than on here, for a couple of one-shots and things. But yeah, very glad to be here for some actually playing and not just running stuff.
Right. Good to be a player sometimes.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Are you an always jam?
I am an always
Forever
DM.
jam is that what it is?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
forever
in life, I'm a forever DM. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'm
I'm
not
happy
there
to have
yet.
you here at the table. This campaign is a bi-weekly Saturday game, so we will not be back on Saturday for this game for not next weekend, but the weekend after. We hope to see you Monday night for Grim Hollow, and next Saturday on the rotating weekends of this, we have another campaign launching, so check out for that. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate all of you. We bid you goodbye, adieu, all of that fun, fancy things. Don't be good, just be good at it. Whatever your mother tells you before you leave the house. Goodbye and good night.